It's about that time, ladies and gentlemen. It's time for another episode of the Foolish Show podcast. I am your host, F to the Ish, representing reality, music, entertainment. Hope y'all having a great week. Nothing but blessings coming your way. Y'all know how we do it. We give it to you real, man. I feed your mind, body, and soul. We're going to have another good, positive podcast tonight, folks. Hope y'all ready. Because y'all know how we do. I feed your mind, body, and soul. We talk about the real life stuff, man. Stuff that we need in our life. Give everybody a little time to check in. Live chat is always open. Feel free to leave your comments, and I will put them on the screen. Shout out to everybody that be supporting the podcast and the movement, man, because we all about positivity over here. We're going to spread love everywhere, all around the world. Let me make sure we live streaming on everywhere. And we're going to get this show started. Once again, I told y'all, I hope y'all having a great week, man. Let's start this week off positive. But we're going to talk about real life situations. Because that's what time it is. Give me more chicken says hi. Y'all go ahead and check in, man. Let me make sure everything on point. And then we're going to take off. Ain't no reason to play with it, y'all. We're here to talk about real life situations. So let me make sure everything's good to go. And we're going to get this show started. TikTok. Catch me every Friday night. Every Friday night, 7 p.m. Eastern Time on the block 105radio.com. So let's get this party started. Make sure everything is set up right. So tonight's topic, folks, we're talking about what is a good age to get married and have children. I want everybody to think about that. What is a good age to get married and have children? We know some people, they have kids at a young age. You have babies having babies, teenagers. All I can say is make sure you're at a mature age where you're ready to be a parent or a wife or a husband. That's the key thing. Make sure you're at the right age. And you're mature and you're ready. So tonight's topic, what age should you have kids and get married? Is it after 18? But we know a lot of people that had kids when they was 14, 15. So you have babies raising babies. And most of the time, the responsibility falls on their parents. Because they're not at a mature age to be a parent. What is the right age to get married and have kids? The best thing I can say is wait till you get your life in order, till your financial situations is in order. Get your career together. Then once all that is established, then you work on building your family and having kids. Sharia Thornton checking in. I appreciate y'all. So tonight's topic, we're going to get into it now. What is the proper age? Or what age should you be to have kids and get married? I say you got to be mature. You got to be at an age where you're ready to be a parent. When you're ready to take on that responsibility, because it's a lot that comes with being somebody's mom or dad. It's a lot to raise another human being. And all single parents out there will tell you it's not easy when you're doing it by yourself and the other person is nowhere around. And it's even harder when you're young and as a teen, because you're just growing and just developing and learning yourself. So make sure you're at the right mature age. Get your career in order. Make sure your finances are on point. Then you can make your babies and get married. Because when you get married, that's another whole commitment, folks. That's another whole commitment. And you got to be at an age where you're ready for all that. A lot of people get married at a young age, is not ready, and end up getting divorced. Because at the time it sounded good, but you was only 19, 20, 21. And it sounded good to you to say, I'm married. But next thing you know, as time goes on and years pass by, y'all start getting tired of each other. You start growing apart. So make sure if you're getting married or having kids, you're ready for all that. You're at a right mature age where you can properly digest everything that's going on. You got to be able to carry that load, because it's a lot and it's hard being a parent and a spouse, but it's not impossible. Marriages and parenting, it all takes patience. It all takes communication. But you always need help. That's why they tell you it takes a village to raise a child. It's hard to do it by yourself. You need mama and grandma and everybody, your brothers and sisters. Everybody contribute and help raising that baby. Because you got to work. You got to be able to feed that baby. Adam 636 checking in. But you got to be able to take care of that baby. And you got to be able to guide it and teach it life lessons. So if you just a young pup, it's hard for you to teach a baby life lessons when you still learning yourself. So what age should you have kids? What age should you get married? I don't really think it's a particular number. It got to be when everything is right. Like I was saying earlier, when you reach a maturity where you're ready to handle all those responsibilities. Because all those responsibilities are not easy. It's hard. It's hard to raise a child, especially by yourself. It's hard to keep a roof over your head and make sure you have all the things you need while living life. Plus, when you got another miles to feed. So we have to think about all this. So I tell all the youngins, you practice safe sex and scrap up until you're at a mature age where you're ready for all that. Wait until you're really ready to be a parent. Get your life in order. Work on your career. Make sure you got everything in order. When you live life too fast, you end up crashing out. Take your time. You don't have to rush it because we all get older. Nobody stays a kid or a baby. So give yourself time to grow up and to mature and to learn, because everything is a learning process. You learn from experience. So what age should you get married and have kids? What is the proper age? There really is no number. It's on where your mind is at, where your heart at that time. Is your mind ready for that type of commitment? Are you really ready to be somebody's wife or husband? I don't care if you're 18 or 28. This is what you got to ask yourself. Are you ready to have a lifetime commitment with somebody? Because you get married too early and you feel like you made a mistake. Then you end up getting divorced and it don't work out. Y'all start seeing too many differences between each other. Are y'all understand what I'm telling you? Make sure you're mature and ready. Make sure you're ready to handle all that. Make sure you're ready to be somebody's parent or spouse. Jay Clark says, don't no one want to be under no one anymore. That's an interesting statement, because we is living in different times now. Well, it's hard to find true love. It's hard to find somebody that's going to ride with you to the end. It's hard to find that soulmate, because most people just playing around, playing games. They're not looking for love. They're just looking for a good time. So there's a difference between love and lusting. A lot of times we lust and we want something because we're looking at the outside, but we're not thinking about the inside and what kind of person they really are. You got to be ready to get married. You got to be ready for that type of commitment. You got to be ready to be somebody's mother or father. Being in that leadership role. You're supposed to lead by example. You're supposed to teach your kids the right way and show them all the rights and the wrongs. What to do and what not to do when living life. So what age is that? I say when you're mature enough. I don't think it's a number. It's your maturity level. If you reach a certain level and you feel like you're ready for all that, then God bless you. Just know what you're signing up for. Just know what you're getting yourself into. Just know that getting married is not a game. Being somebody's parent in a game. It's a big responsibility that you have to take serious. Because once you have a child, now you're responsible for a whole nother human being on this earth. You're responsible for this human being safety and good well-being. Basically, somebody else's life is in your hands. Now, we know a lot of times people make mistakes. A lot of young ladies get pregnant at an early age when they're still in high school and middle school. Be 14, and they have a difficult time because they're not mature yet. They just a child. Now you have babies raising babies. So a lot of times we have to understand we got to slow down. You got to slow down. All you youngins out there watching, don't try to grow up before your time. Your time will come for you to do all that. Your time will come for you to mingle. Your time will come for you to get married and be a parent. But don't rush it. Because are you ready for all those responsibilities? Can you handle everything that's going to be on your plate? And when you're just a teenager, that's hard. Because you're still in school. You're still trying to figure out which way you're going to go in life. You're still trying to find your direction. Do y'all understand what I'm telling you? So what's the right age to get married and have kids? I say it's no number. It's a maturity level. You got to be at a certain point where you're ready for all that responsibility. Because it ain't a game. It's serious to be somebody's parent. It's serious to be somebody's wife or husband. So you got to be mature and ready for everything that's coming. Now you have a husband and a wife. It's not just you. Now you have another child, another mouth. It's not just you. All those things are serious. It ain't no play. That's why a lot of people, when they find out they're pregnant and they're not ready, they get abortions. Because they know they're not ready for that responsibility. Once you have a child, that's not a baby doll. You can't just sit it down. You can't just put it back in the box. You can't take the batteries out. You have another human being, another life on earth. That's a big responsibility. So if you have babies raising babies, then what are the youngins going to be able to teach their kids when they ain't nothing but a kid themselves? That's why it's best for you to wait till you get mature enough and your life is set up where you're ready for all that. Where if you do have kids, you don't have to struggle. When you do have a husband and a wife, your life is already in order. You're not still trying to pick up the pieces and get your life together. Y'all understand what I'm trying to tell you? You got to be mature enough to take on those responsibilities. Because that's a lot of weight on your shoulders. That's a lot of commitment. Waking up every day, making sure somebody eats, bathe, have a roof over their head, get to school. It's not a piece of cake. Those are real responsibilities. Are you ready for that? That's what you got to ask yourself. So all you youngins that's out there listening, just make sure you're mature and you're ready to get married. There's nothing wrong with getting married and having kids. That's what life's supposed to be about. You meet your soulmate, you start a family, and y'all live happily together until God calls you home. But remember, it's going to be ups and downs that comes along with that. Everything just ain't going to always be peaches and cream. You're going to have good days and you're going to have bad days. Are y'all listening to what I'm telling you? You got to take the good with the bad. So ask yourself, are you ready before you get married? Do you see yourself every day waking up with this person? Can you love this person unconditionally forever? Because marriage is supposed to be forever, not temporary. That is a lifetime commitment when you sign on that dotted line. So you got to ask yourself, are you ready? Are you able to handle all that? Are you ready to wake up with this same person every day and deal with everything that comes along with that? Their attitude, their ways, how they talk, how they act, how they eat, how they sleep, Do you know everything about this person? That's what you have to ask yourself. Do you know everything that you need to know about this person before you get married? Because a marriage is supposed to be a lifetime commitment, folks. When you say I do, it's you and that person forever. Supposed to be. But we know it don't work out like that. That's why you have a lot of divorces. A lot of people's not getting married for the right reasons. So make sure if you get married, it's for the right reason. Don't do it just to do it or because it sounds good at the moment. You take those vows, you got to honor and be serious about it if you want it to last. You got to have an open communication with that person that you with. You got to make sure y'all on the same page and on the same level. And when it's come down to being a parent, the mom and dad has to be ready for that. You have to be ready for that responsibility of raising that child and making sure they got all the things they need to make it in life. Give them good guidance. Give them some good loving. But you got to be at a mature level and a mature age to be able to do that. If you're just a teenager, you just living and getting here and learning, and you can't even take care of yourself, it's hard to raise another human being. That's why you got to make sure, folks, you're mature enough and ready for all that. Because it ain't a video game. Being married and having kids is serious. And it's all a part of life. It's a life cycle. That's how life keeps going, and you have grandkids and the family bloodline lives on. So it's a very important thing. So you got to take it serious. You don't just get somebody pregnant just to do it. You don't just say, I want to have a baby just to have a baby. That is a big responsibility that you got to be prepared for. Because your whole life is going to change. It's not going to be the same no more. Your sleeping patterns are going to change. The way you spend your money is going to change. A lot of things is going to change once you become a parent. And a lot of people don't want to mature and change. So even when they still have kids, they still want to act like a child themselves. That's why I say you got to be mature and ready. You got to be ready for that responsibility. You got to be ready to be somebody's wife or husband. All those things are big responsibilities. Are you going to be able to handle that? Are you going to be mature enough to handle that? It's not impossible. A lot of people do it. Some people get married at an early age and they stay together for 20, 30 years. But they'll tell you themselves that it's not easy. They'll tell you that it took hard work, communication, sacrifice. Some things are going to have to be sacrificed. You're going to have to sacrifice time with your friends. You have to sacrifice that time for yourself when you're married and have kids, because you have to put your family first, God first, then your family. But you put your family before all that other nonsense. That nonsense can wait. You make sure the family is good. You make sure the household is straight before all that outside stuff. But God has to be first. Because without God, how's your life going to go good? How are you going to receive your blessings if you don't have no God in your life? So the first thing is to have God. Let him be your tour guide through life. Let him direct you into the right way and you follow lead. You follow behind. But life is serious, folks. It's not a game. We have a lot of people having kids that's not ready. We have a lot of women and men that make babies, but they're not ready. They're not ready to sacrifice and be a good parent. They're not ready to give up all the things that they love. They're not ready to leave the drugs alone. They're not ready to stop partying. You have to be ready for all that. That is a lifetime commitment. You don't just stop being a parent. As long as your child here, you're a parent. Are you ready for all that? And there's nothing wrong with it because it's all a blessing. That's a great gift to give birth and bring new life into this earth. That is a great gift, ladies, that you have. Able to give birth. It's a beautiful thing to bring life into this world. But don't take it for granted. Make sure you're ready. Make sure you are prepared mentally. Make sure you understand that your whole life is about to change. You can't live like it's just you anymore. You have a whole nother mouth to feed. It's not about you anymore. It's about your child. When you get married, it's not just about you. It's about your wife and your husband. That is a partnership. Do y'all understand what I'm trying to tell you? So what is the proper age to get married and have kids? Is it 18, 21, 25, 30, 35? You can't put a number on it. It's your maturity level. Do y'all understand what I'm telling you? You got to be mature enough and be ready to handle all that responsibility. Understand that life ain't no game. Life is serious. Don't take life for a game. You got to be serious. Because your life is serious. Everything you do, it reflects on you and your family. If you do something to jeopardize your freedom, now you're putting your family at risk of you not being there, of that child not having a mother or father. So your decisions got to be more than just you. When you do become a parent, when you do become a wife or a husband, you got other people to think about. It's not just yourself anymore. Do y'all understand what I'm trying to tell you? You got to make sure that you're at that maturity level where you can handle all that. You can be able to process being a wife and a husband and having kids. All those are big responsibilities. And if you're just a baby, raising a baby, it's hard for you to do all that. And a lot of times you're going to end up doing it by yourself without the other person that helped you make that baby. Not everything is stuck on your family and your parents. They never have to raise a whole child again. That's why you see a lot of grandmas and granddaddies raising these kids, because a lot of these young ladies, they're not ready to be a mother. They're not ready for that responsibility. That's why grandma them got to take over and show you how to mix that cereal up in that milk. She got to teach you all the little tricks and trades of being a mother or a father. So the question tonight, folks, What age should you have kids and get married? Y'all tell me what age you think you should have kids and get married. I say you can't put a number on it. It's about how mature you are. Are you ready for all that? Age is just a number. Just because you're 21 don't mean you're ready to be a parent. That doesn't mean you're ready to be somebody's wife or husband. That's just a number. Where's your maturity level? Where is your mind at? It's all about your way of thinking. Are you thinking how you're supposed to? Are you ready to handle everything that comes along with that? These are the things you got to ask yourself. Are you in a financial state where you're able to take care of a baby? Or are you barely eating right now yourself? Are you barely making it? A lot of these young ladies, they barely eat. They don't have a roof. Now you're bringing a whole nother human being into the equation. It's bad enough when you're struggling by yourself. Now think about struggling and you have kids. And they're looking for you every day for food, shelter, love, guidance. Are you going to be able to step up to the plate and make that happen? So it's really not what age you is. It's what maturity level you on. Are you mature enough and ready for all that stuff? Are you ready to be a parent? Are you ready to be somebody's soulmate and spouse? Through thick and thin, to death do you apart. Are you ready for that lifetime sacrifice? These are the things we need to ask ourselves. So it's not about what age you is. Are you mature enough and ready to take on that task? Are you ready to give all your love to one person unconditionally? Are you ready for all that? Are you ready to get woken out of your sleep with crying? Are you ready to change those diapers? Are you ready to sit at those doctor's appointments and at the hospital? Are you ready to get up every day to make sure the bills are paid and your child has everything they want and need? Are you ready to be a wife and be that backbone to your husband? Are you ready to be a husband and be that backbone to your wife? These are the things you have to ask yourself. So tonight's topic, what age should you get married and have kids? What age do y'all believe is the proper age to get married? Start you a family. I say just wait until you set your life up. Wait till you got your career together. You know which way you're going in life. You're able to stand on your own 2 feet and you're not still dependent on your parents and others. Because if you're able to live on your own and make it, then you can make it with your own family. But it's not going to be easy. Raising a child is not easy. Being married to somebody ain't easy because you're going to have problems. What if your child born with different complications? What if your child has autism? Are you going to be able to deal with that? So you got to be strong-minded being a parent, because you're going to go through a lot of good days and bad days. So a lot of nights you're not going to be able to get sleep. It comes with a lot of sacrifice. So are y'all willing to sacrifice? Doesn't matter your age. Are you ready to sacrifice? Just make sure you're not a minor. That's number one. I don't condone minors trying to grow up before their time. So y'all youngins is out there listening and watching, don't try to grow up before your time. Let life come to you. As the old folks keep telling us, and the old folks used to tell us, just keep on living. Just keep on living. So what age should you get married and have kids? Is there an age limit? I heard a situation where a woman was about 65, 66 and had twins. And the twins came out okay. So I guess there really is no age limit. If it's meant to be, then it's meant to be. Anything is possible. But everything comes with risk. And there's a lot of women that risk their lives having birth, going in labor. It's a lot of women that lost their lives giving birth. So all that has a risk involved. Some women are high risk when they're pregnant. They might have different health complications. You don't know if your body is ready for that, can handle all that. It's so many factors that you got to think about and consider when you want to have a baby or you want to get married. There's nothing wrong with having a family. There's nothing wrong with having a spouse. You just got to make sure that you're ready. It ain't no game. It ain't no light switch where you can turn it on, turn it off. You wake up one day, I want to be married. The next day, I don't want to be married no more. Then the next day, it ain't no light switch. It's a lifetime commitment. So you got to make sure you're at an age when you're ready and you can handle all that. When you can take all that in. And have kids. Just make sure you're mature. That's what I can tell you. Make sure you're at a mature enough age where you know what you're getting yourself into. Having kids, your whole life is going to change. Having one child, your life is going to change. Getting married, your life is going to change. Because it's not just you waking up and doing what you want no more. You have a husband and a wife. You have a son or a daughter. You could have both. Now there's other factors that you got to think about. You got to be able to take on all those responsibilities. You can't run from it once it happened. Once the child get here, it ain't no I don't want it no more. Now you got to step up to the plate and be a parent. And be a good parent. Be a good mama and a good dad. You got to be able to teach that child all the things they need to survive in life. It's not about, look at my baby cute. My baby so pretty. That's not a Barbie doll. Your child don't run by batteries. They have blood flowing in their body. That is a whole nother human being that you got to take care of at least for the next 18 years. So you got to be at an age where you're ready for all that. A lot of these young ladies, they ain't ready. They get pregnant, they have babies too early where they're not mature enough to even raise those kids. And now all the grandparents have to raise the kids because they just babies themselves. They can't buy their own clothes. They can't put a refrigerator in their own refrigerator right now. You can't put food in the refrigerator right now for yourself. How you going to do it for a whole another human being? So what age should you get married? Whenever you feel like you reach that maturity level. If you're 18, 19, 20, and you feel like you found your soulmate and y'all compatible, who am I or anybody else to tell you, don't do it, don't marry them, don't be with them? Because it's your life at the end of the day. I'm not going to live it. The other people that give you their opinion, they're not going to live it. You're going to have to live with those decisions. You're going to have to live with raising that child every day. Not everybody else. Everybody else going to have their opinion, but they're going to be living their own life. They're not going to be living yours. It comes back to you because that's your responsibility. It's your life. So you have to be responsible for the decisions that you make. However you want to move is on you. Don't be afraid to mature and live life. When you do have kids and get married, that's a whole nother step in life. Now it's time to put your big pants on. Ain't no more little girl and little boy stuff. Now you with the big dogs. Now you got to step up to the plate and take care of your responsibility. It ain't mama them job. It ain't nobody else's job to raise your child but you. You can see that child, that is your responsibility. You got to be ready for it. Are you prepared for all that? So before you have kids and get married, ask yourself, am I ready for this? Am I ready to take this big step? Am I ready for my whole life to change? This is what you have to ask yourself. You can't really put a number on it. It's your maturity level. You got to be mature enough, folks, to take responsibility. Not run away from your responsibility. Not neglect your responsibility. But take on your responsibility in the right way. And step up to the plate. Don't matter if you're 18, 19, 20. Once you have a child, now you got to be mama and dad. You decided to get married, now you got to be somebody's wife or husband. You have to step up to the plate. Can't run away from your responsibilities in life. You have to take life how it comes and live life to the fullest. Make sure that you're ready for all that. Make sure you're at the point of your life where you can handle and take on all those responsibilities of being somebody's spouse and somebody's parent. Because there's a lot that comes with that. It's a lot you're going to have to carry on your shoulders. Just because you're sick, you can't stop being a parent. You might not be feeling good. You still got to be a mama or a dad. You still got to be a husband or a wife. Even if you got the flu. Even if you burning up with a fever. Your child still going to be hungry. Your child still need to be taken care of. That's why I say it's a big step. It's a big responsibility. You have to ask yourself, are you ready? So tonight's topic, what age should you get married and have kids? I want everybody to ask themselves that. A lot of times, we end up making babies where we didn't mean to do it. A lot of times you be like, I don't know how such and such came. They just came. I wasn't trying to have no baby. But remember, you control what you do. You control who you lay up with. You control if you use protection or not. You control who you say I do to. You control who you say I'm going to marry this person. All those things are in your control. A lot of times we get caught up in the moment. Then when the aftermath comes, we be looking crazy. That one night of fun can lead to a lot of other stuff. That one night of pleasure can lead to a whole lot of other stuff that you better be ready for. If you don't take the right precautions, if you don't protect yourself, you control what you do. If you're not ready to be a parent, if you're not ready for all those responsibilities, then you better use some protection. And just wait until you know you're ready and mature enough to be a mama or be a dad. Wait till you feel like you're at a right time and right position in your life. If you know you're not ready to be committed with nobody and you really don't want to be with this person forever, don't marry that person. Don't tie up nobody else's life. People deserve more than that. Don't waste that person's life knowing well you really ain't going to be with them forever. Don't be selfish. Think about other people's feelings in life and time. Nobody wants their time to be wasted. There's nothing wrong with having kids. It's a beautiful thing to bring another life on this earth. There's nothing wrong with continue the bloodline and the generations. There's nothing wrong with giving your parents grandkids that they can love on. Just make sure you're ready. Just make sure you can handle all that. Make sure you just ain't a baby yourself. There's nothing wrong with getting married and having a wife to grow old with, a husband to grow old with, to love and build with while you live. Just make sure you're ready for that commitment. Make sure that you don't pick the right person to do that with. You just have to be careful what you do, how you do it. Because at the end of the day, it's your life. You're going to have to live it. You're going to have to deal with everything that comes along with your actions. If you made a baby, you got to raise it. If you had a baby, you got to raise it. If you got married, then you got to honor those vows. You're supposed to hold your husband or your wife down forever, not temporary. That's supposed to be a lifetime commitment, not just a certificate, not just to say, oh, look at my finger, I got something that's shining on it. Not for a big cake, not for a big reception. It's supposed to be a lifetime commitment. So are you ready for that? Is what you got to ask yourself before you do all that. Before you make babies. Before you go to the altar. Ask yourself, am I ready for this? If you're ready for it, knock yourself out. Go live your life. Don't let nobody stop you. If that's what you want to do and that's what's going to make you happy. Always follow your heart and what makes you happy. But just be careful of what you do. Be careful of who you do it with. Be careful who you have that child with. They might be a not right person to have a family with. They might not be the right person you want to build your life with. Don't marry the wrong person. Marry the right person. Well, how do you know that person right? That's up for you to find out. Because if you're going to make a lifetime commitment to somebody, you need to learn everything about them. Everything. All the good, the bad, and the ugly. You need to know what you're getting yourself into. Before you say, I do. Before you say, this is my husband and my wife. Are both of y'all ready for that? Are you ready to wake up 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning when that baby crying and hungry? Are you ready to change dirty diapers all day? Are you ready to start to scream and yell and say stop and don't do that all day? You gotta ask yourself, are you ready for it? Anybody can make a baby, but everybody can't raise one. Anybody can get married, but everybody can't have a great marriage. All that takes hard work and sacrifice. You're going to have to sacrifice something, and you're going to have to work on your marriage and being a parent. It takes hard work. It's not easy. It's a lot of sacrifices got to be made because you got to make sure that it's just not about you anymore. It's about the family. Everything you do, you have to think about the family. You have to think about your husband, your wife, your kids. So it becomes more than you. Are you ready for that? Are you prepared for that? These are the things that you have to ask yourself before you do certain things in your life. Before you make kids, before you get married, just make sure you're ready. Just make sure you're doing all that with the right person. You mess around and have a child from the wrong person, it can mess up your life. You marry the wrong person, that can mess up your life. Now you got to deal with all this drama and all this nonsense for a long time. So these are big decisions. So you got to be at a mature age to be able to take on all these responsibilities. But I appreciate y'all, man, checking in tonight. We had another great positive podcast. Make sure y'all check me out every Friday night on the radio. 2 radio stations, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, socialradio.com and theblock105.com. Catch me on those 2 radio stations every Friday night, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, folks. But tonight's topic We was talking about what age should you get married and have kids. I don't really think you can put a number on that. It's about your maturity level and what your mind frame is. Are you mature enough to be married? Are you mature enough to be a parent? Are you ready for all those responsibilities? That's what it all comes down to. Anybody can make a baby. Everybody can't raise one. Anybody can get married, but everybody can't have a great marriage. Everybody can't have a long-lasting marriage. It all has to be for the right reasons. There's nothing wrong with doing none of those things in your life. There's nothing wrong with having your family and getting married and growing with somebody. Being there through the good and the bad and the ups and downs. But you make sure you pick the right person to build all that with. Because having kids with the wrong person and marry the wrong person can mess up your life. That is a big decision that you have to make. So take it serious. It's more than who's good in the bed. It's more than how good somebody look. We're talking about a lifetime commitment. Do y'all understand what I'm telling you? But make sure y'all subscribe to my YouTube channel, Reality Music Entertainment, man. Check out my merchandise. Y'all know what I represent. RME. Reality Music Entertainment, official merchandise. Go on teespring.com/reality creator. teespring.com/reality creator. I got new apparel, new merchandise available, man. Sweatsuits, hoodies, beanies, snapbacks, t-shirts, tights, joggers, ladies, men's. We got you covered. So go ahead and place your order, man. Go to teespring.com. I appreciate y'all that's checked in tonight, man. If you missed it, make sure y'all go back and rewatch this positive, powerful podcast. Because this is stuff that we need to talk about. We don't come on here just to gossip and spread rumors. We need to talk about real life. Because life is real. And remember, life is temporary. Death, that's forever. Understand that we're not going to be here forever. We got an expiration date. We all got a death sentence. So watch how you live your life. Watch what you do. Watch what you say. Watch who you lay up with. Watch who you make kids with. Watch who you marry. So you only get one shot at life. Live life to the fullest. Make good decisions. Live a positive life. And most important, put God first. Put God first and other stuff last. Y'all be safe, man. Y'all have a blessed night. I appreciate all the love.